What we do here is go back.
So what are the first things you think about when you look at these controllers?
Fancy dress balls.
So yeah, the design is pretty unorthodox, with all the buttons being on the very top of the controller, you know? Buttons, you got that big ass move button, you got the home button. Honestly, I don't know what this one does, I haven't really turned on the device yet. The trigger one, which is literally just ripped from the PlayStation 3's controller's trigger, which it means is that it's complete horse shit. I just noticed that the start and select buttons are on the side, that's pretty goofy. I don't know why it has to be so squishy, that's pretty sus. I guess that's meant to... whatever, I'm not going to say any more of these dirty jokes, it's pretty cringe. But anyway, the way this controller feels, doesn't feel that bad. Having everything be placed within like the top side of the controller, I don't know why it's like that. Especially when you compare it to the Wii modes, which honestly feels so much better on my hand. It might be biased because I've been using this thing for over like a decade now, but I like the placement of the Wii controller. With the 1 and 2 buttons, select and the start buttons, respectively, next to the home button. And then you got the D-pad and the A button, and it feels much better. This one feels so much more resistance towards it. While the Wii is just very snappy, you just hear it through all the clicking. It feels a lot more premium, weirdly enough, even though it's probably cheaper to make. And then you got the directional one. I had to buy this on CEX because my starter pack literally did not feature this thing at all, and wow. This one actually feels way better than the main controllers, which is surprising. I like how you can actually include the clickable, the directional button on it. It feels good. The controller one is just the same. The buttons are just as small. I don't like how small they are. It feels weird on my hand. Same the D-pad. It's very sticky. Like it's constantly on sticky mode. You have the home button. But man, honestly, it feels pretty damn good, honestly. I like it. Especially when compared to its direct competitor, which is the nunchuck. I hate the nunchuck, I really do. Ever since I had this thing as a kid, I fucking hate this piece of shit. It literally feels like a freaking ragdoll. Like, it's so light on my hand. It just feels like it can break if you just throw it to the wall. Like that. If I was to throw this shit on the wall, which I will not do because I do not want to break my house even more than I'm already doing. God, like, what is that noise, bro? It agitates me. Like, every time I use this thing, I always get agitated when I use this stupid, like, fucking directional button, whatever. It's fucking lame. Joystick, whatever. Joystick. I hate how stiff it feels and how it has this really baffling design decision of having all these, like a hexagon design. So it doesn't really feel that right. While this one, it's made for normal people. That's a circular design, so no bullshit. And you can click this one. It doesn't click. So what the fuck is that about? And then you got the camera, pretty much being its own standalone. It's an evolution of the PlayStation 2's camera. Compared to this piece of shit that can easily break if you just so happen to like snap it. It breaks like a twig. I don't know why this thing's so dusty. Don't mind how dusty it is. I've not used the Wii for like over a year now. So now it's collecting so much dust, which is sad. The PlayStation Move, just those 4 ingredients is what you need, including this fat piece of junk, which I love this thing so much. Well, anyway, that's all you need for it. And without further ado, let's get on with this video, man. Very long introduction, but that's the unboxing part. Alright, let's go. Setup experience is very, very painless because all you gotta do literally is just to set up your camera, then calibrate your controller, and then that's it. Literally. And no, look at that sexy man wearing that sexy jersey of a team that should have never been dissipated by some stupid millionaire.
You know what really grinds my gears?
For some reason, this thing will not turn on unless I got this stupid piece of shit wire plugged on, so that means I've been sold a default product. So that means I have like 0 resale value for this thing, so
This is Street BB.
ah yes, the PlayStation Move's answer to Wii Sports. It's just that it lacks all the personality, uniqueness that made Wii Sports such an iconic tech demo for the console. But honestly, it's actually not that bad of a tech demo itself.
This nigga serious?
And my first impressions were, oh shit, I gotta calibrate my controller.
Bringer. I'm the fucking universe.
But after going through the frustrating calibration setup, I was tasked with throwing the disc to test out how the controls work, and I was like, wow, this thing does not control well at all. It is not responsive. It might have to do with my setup since I don't have a big enough house. I'm literally living in a small flat right now. But man, oh man, it was so hard just to like get accurate throws throughout the entire game. It was like, bro, I flick my wrist too much.
My life be like.
Flick it way too light. It literally just...
Oh my god.
What more can I say? The next one is bounce. I mean boost. Surprisingly enough, it's actually one of the more fun mini games. Probably because there's a bit of a like tactical element to it where you have to like place your ball within the middle and make sure that opponent's ball, you can like bounce the ball away from the center so you can gain more points. Or just make sure your future balls land within your original ball so you can gain as many points as possible. And one of the best parts about it is that the controls are very responsive, surprisingly enough. Maybe it's because of how it doesn't require much movement from my controller at all, so it ends up being very precise with me throwing it a bit in the middle or a bit too much in the farther areas. Overall, it was a really fun experience.
Embarrassing!
Volleyball. But this one here is the first time I actually noticed that I had the option of using 2 move controllers or 1. Since I had the second move controller, I had to decide to use 2 of them. And sure enough, actually gave the games a bit more options, I guess. But not really, still very simplistic mini game because you use the left just to like hold the ball and then you swing up with your rights to just hit the ball like you're simulating patty it. Sure enough, you swing the rights down if you want to like spike it or to bounce it up to your teammates so they can like spike it. It's a very simplistic volleyball mini game. It's not really that interesting. It's a very meh experience. That's how I describe it. But the move controls were slightly responsive. That's if I'm just serving the ball, because when I'm trying to like do any type of regular like ball hits, all I get is like a spike. No matter what I do, I always spike the ball. It is actually very annoying when I'm literally just trying to do like a medium pat and all I'm getting is a spike. So instead it just makes the game feel very...
No.
So the next one is archery, and it is by far the worst. It is the worst. Like, it is the one where I noticed that my setup around me was my biggest downfall, because in this one you're meant to be standing, right? Because me sitting on my bed, I was not able to like properly do the archery minigame the way it's supposed to be done, because every time I try and hold it, I'm too close to the damn camera, which means I don't have enough space to really like move around to aim my shots properly. And instead all I do is just aim the ground over and over and over and over and over and over, and it's just like, bro, I literally cannot finish this freaking minigame. And instead I just made a complete fool of myself playing through this whole thing. I just quit the fastest out the other minigames because I was like, this is unplayable. It's literally unplayable. You see, this is the reason why the Move and Connect failed, because they don't account for those who are staying small and close areas when they were developing these things for any of their games or peripheral technology. Only focus on those with the long, big living rooms and big spaces, and it's like, bro, you're limiting the amount of reach people can have when playing your damn devices. Nintendo Wii worked as well as it did, because you can be, no matter how small your area is, you will still be able to use your Wii just fine if you're sitting down or whatever. But when it comes to the Move and the Connect, no, son. It is a pain in the ass to use. And this stupid minigame just is the bane of my existence. Literally, it's the worst way of experiencing this stupid device. Next. Now we got gladiator fighting, and this one is one of the more fun ones because obviously it's the one where you're able to just physically take out your anger at this digital polygon. It's a very simple one. All you do is literally have 2 wands with you. One works as your shield and one works as your sword. It's actually very responsive, because when I hold up my left wand as a shield, it actually blocks. When I use my right wand as a sword, it's actually very accurate. It actually has a good amount of strategy to it. Like if a guy is blocking the top, you hit them in the side, hit them in the bottom if they're shielding like the top part. It's like very accurate. It's a bit of a very simple minigame, of course. It's not too in-depth, but it's actually pretty fun and cathartic just to slam the shit out of people while listening to some badass music because of the game's gifted integrated soundtrack feature. It's a fun time. And last but not least, you got table tennis, which actually is probably one of my favorite ones again. Or it is my favorite one because of how intense it gets. Like, it is so close with these matches, bro. Like, it felt like I was in an actual, like, ping pong movie scenario. It was cinematic as hell, bro. I was, like, going ham against the CPU. Because, man, the controls in this one very responsive. Though I did have some trouble trying to aim to the right most of the time because I always aim at the left. No matter what, even when I try moving to the right, since I can't use like a navigational move controller, I wasn't able to like move my player freely, which is the biggest problem. They only use like one controller, so I had to automatically like move. And since I just kept on hitting like the right side, left side, whatever, I always aim at the damn left side. It's annoying. Like, I just want to have a bit more control of myself because I think Wii Sports did it better with the tennis, honestly. But this one, it's intense as hell. It's sweaty as hell. It's probably the sweatiest I've gotten playing through this whole minigame collection. It was a really fun experience, especially hearing some music that I put in my soundtrack. Of course, I'm always going to brag about my music chases. Yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, on to the next game. Next up is NBA 2K11, the greatest basketball game ever made. And I was surprised to find that this game actually has some PS Move features. And it wasn't just regated for like menu navigation or for its manager mode, whatever. No, actually you can use it. But there's a catch to it. It's that the control setup itself. It's the most sussiest thing I've ever used to control a game ever. So you'll be thinking that you'll be using the navigational controller to control like the player and the passing and all that stuff, player switching, whatever. And you use this for the shooting and lob throws, all those really pizzazzy stuff. You have to use this thing here just for moving. Like, you literally have to hold it like this while holding this right wand over here to shoot and pass your way through. That literally is the entire setup, so you literally have to bounce between two different controller setups just to play on this Move Edition. What? Like, they did not even think this through. They literally just half-assed this whole entire controller integration into the game itself, which is absolutely like some mind-boggling shit. And the craziest part is that it somehow works. Okay, hear me out. It works in the sense that when I shoot, when I swing the controller to steal the ball, when I use the T button to shoot, it works as intended. And to actually use the movement button to move the players, it somehow works. But that doesn't stop how absolutely weird and uncomfortable and strange of an experience it is. And the only reason why I'm able to play it the way it is that I was playing on this easiest difficulty. Because I cannot imagine for the life of me actually playing on the simulation mode. Because it seems like it's meant to be for like a very arcadey, cathartic experience. I don't know, man. Like this whole setup is not meant to be taken serious. Like, this whole entire mode is not serious, and it's probably the worst thing to come out of 2K11. That's for certain.
Oh, what a finish!
Ah, yes, FIFA 13, my favorite FIFA game of all time. Oh my god, remember when FIFA used to be called FIFA instead of EAFC? Yes, and it was also originally a great video game, because ever since they moved to Frostbite, it became worse. So, well, whatever. Okay, back to the topic. FIFA 13 setup is very, very simple. It has its own menu. You click on it, you calibrate the damn thing. It's very simple. The whole calibration process is actually very, very like painless. And bam, you're already in the game. So yeah, you're able to control the menu, pointing the controller up and down. I don't recommend it. It does not work. It's not responsive at all. Anyway, onto the game. With this one, you only use one controller. You just point your controller at the screen like a mouse to move the player. And when you press the move button to shoot and the T button to pass, all that jazz. It's a very simplistic movement control scheme, but it works very well. Physics-based movement system. Feels a bit janky, a bit awkward to control, but again, it's only like a one-time special thing to do, because honestly, playing a game like FIFA it's not really advised. It feels more like a gimmick, honestly. Like, oh cool, how does it feel like to be playing FIFA using a mouse control just to do everything? That's what it feels like. You're just playing like FIFA with like a PC mouse controller, but not as responsive and smooth. But it still works. It's functional, and that's all I can say. And honestly, it is one of the worst parts of FIFA 13. Notice the pattern here. Okay, talking now to games that were made exclusively for the move in mind.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Next up is Kung Fu Rider. When I first booted it up, I was absolutely shocked to see that Japan Studio were the ones handling it. The guys who gave us Gravity Rush. Made this shit. Can you believe that shit? Holy shit. Shitty shitballs. But seeing as this is a Japan Studio game, it has a lot of their quirks I like to see. The first one being with the fact that they were talking in like a very particular Yorkshire accent.
Because my blokes in bad suits. Knew this job sounded dodgy. Oh, stop it! Stop! Going on about.
Shut up, Marge! Shut up!
I bet the other regional versions have their own localized dubbing, which is very, very cool, because that's kind of like a lost art. Very quirky, I like that. And then the next one is definitely with the music.
Cause I'm Kung Fu Rider.
Studio knows how to compose music. Really, really spicy, I like that. Speaking of spicy, they got the whole, you know, buttocks. But yeah, besides that, the whole gameplay revolves around you moving around these guys in their whole office chairs, avoiding the Yakuza, all that shit. And literally that's the whole game. It's pretty much like playing downhill jam, but trying to move it around with a stick that barely reacts to anything because, yeah, you only play with like one controller. It is very unresponsive because every time I try to do the whole bending, moving around, swerving left and right, it barely reads it, so half the time I'm just getting my ass whooped by the Yakuza in the environment, and I get to experience some really crazy ragdoll physics.
Oh my god!
When I realized that the whole game is literally going to be like this for the next couple of hours, I just bounced because I had no time to deal with this shit.
I do not have time for your candy ass.
This game, it's like that one PS Vita game, Reality Fighters. The whole gimmick is that you just point your Vita onto whatever place you have in your room, and then you have a bunch of game models just beating each other up, and you engage in the most mediocre, forgettable fighting game you've ever experienced in your entire life. But in that game, you can put your face onto a model and it looks absolutely horrific. Kung Fu Rider is this, but for the PlayStation Move, and I advise to not play this shit.
Around me are familiar faces.
The next one here is No More Heroes, Heroes Paradise. And my goodness, what an anomaly of a game it is. Like, for one, in terms of the move controls, it's alright. It's pretty much like how the Wii version is, bar for bar. The required movements in order to perform the on-screen prompts, it works around 70% of the time. Because unlike the Wii and Switch versions, which are very smooth and responsive, this one has a bit of trouble with reading some of my prompts. Like, for example, if I was to do the whole circle mini game clashes, it most of the time does not work, so I just end up like twisting my hand like a complete doofus. But besides that, it's the same old No More Heroes greatness that we all know and love. The game is a masterpiece. Well, except for the fact that it's probably the worst way to ever play this game, because holy crap, the graphical presentation, performance, so bad that I need to make a video about it, so keep your eye out for that one, because that will be my next video project. Alright, on to the next and final game of this whole retrospective, because yeah, I'm saving the worst for the last.
Watch out.
PlayStation Move Heroes is a piece of crap. Its existence means nothing, and the world's oxygen benefits with this game's lack of exposure of retro gaming discourse. Yeah, man, this game is... where to start? I am going to get to the move controls in a bit, but for now I need to rant about how they pretty much portray the characters and just about everything. Okay, for one, look what they did to my boy Sly. Why the hell does this guy look like this? Why does he gotta look like he's this like raccoon guy who's snuffed too much coke into his system? He looks absolutely terrifying, this art style. And then you see this one wacky ass cutscene of him running.
Mr. Electric, send him to the principal's office and have him expelled!
That is an absolute disgrace. It's like the animators of this game literally just saw some gameplay clips of him in like what, some like 240p YouTube video of Sly 2 or something. Notice his default walking animation and we're like, oh yeah, let's do the same thing. But make it seem like he's actually running to somewhere, which does not look exaggerated or retarded at all in motion. Nah, man. And now you end up having like the most cursed looking Sly Cooper in existence. I'm angry because I love Sly. He's my favorite game character of all time, but this is what they do to him. How fucking dare you? How dare you? The next one's Jack, because oh my god, Jack in this game he's a douche for no reason. Because I'm pretty sure this is the Jack from Jak 3, where in that game, like, yeah, he's a bit offstandish, but that's because of circumstance. But besides the whole him being like, you know, kicked out of Haven City and stuff, he's actually seen as a very chill, laid-back dude who just has a bit of an edgy side to him, not in the sense that he's very offstandish and pissed off. But in this game, he's a complete prick to both Ratchet and Sly for no reason. Like, what do they do to him? Why is he always so confrontational towards these guys? Like, it does not make any sense. It's like they just saw the archetype of him from like Jak 2 and built him off from that and just had this weird anomaly of how he is in Jak 3. Even though that's not how he looks like in Jak 3, he's like, what is this version of Jack? Oh my god. I mean, Ratchet, he's fine, because this game honestly has a hard-on for the Ratchet and Clank series out the other two. You can very much tell because Ratchet was like the most prevalent character during the PlayStation 3 era. He's pretty much like Sony's version of Mario at that time, so of course all the love and effort was put to him. And the whole game's look and aesthetic literally screams futuristic Ratchet and Clank, and I'm not a big fan of Ratchet and Clank Future. I'm more into the PS2 grunge era of Ratchet, so I wasn't a big fan of this whole game's aesthetic. And Ratchet, he's potato, and the sidekick's Clank. What the fuck is up with his voice?
All right, deep breaths, Bentley. Ha. Ha.
Holy shit. I mean, Bentley and Dax are 100% the best things about this game. In terms of their characterization and writing, those guys are very true to themselves, especially Bentley. The guy's an absolute joy on screen. I miss the guy. I wish the games just remind me how much I miss Sly. Because Bentley, he's such a joy in this game. And he's just awesome. Daxter, he looks ugly as fuck. I'm sorry. I know I was praising him for being true to his character, but his design in this game, it's uncanny. It's like this game does not know how to deal with furry characters. The way they handle the enemies, like the biggest one honestly is with that of the Crimson Guard bots from Jak 2 and 3. From what I recall, those guys do not talk in those games, but for some reason they talk and they have the most cringy ass dialogue ever.
What was that for? Oh. Hey! Ha! Dislodge. Dislodge. Don't worry. I will get you out of there. Take that! Take that! Ha! Hiya!
And it feels like these stupid devs did not play these damn games and they just took the design from what they saw from like gameplay clips where like, oh yeah, this is definitely how these enemies will totally act and interact with everyone in the world. It's like, no guys, play the fucking games. Because they get everything so wrong with these guys who are like from both Sly and Jak, and it's like, bro, this is frustrating as a guy who loves these franchises all too much. This is such a really bad translation and representation of these praised franchises, bro. Like, for God's sake, look at what they did with the Warhawk enemies from Sly 2, my guy. Why do they look like this, bro? They look creepy as hell. And speaking of which, the game has barely any enemy variety. You only got like 2 representatives from the Sly games and 2 from the Ratchet and Clank games. And guess what, for Jack, you only got like one, which are those Crimson Guard bots, which is absolutely #1 bullshit behavior from the devs, because you can obviously tell that these devs do not give a shit about the Jak and Daxter franchise. I guess for Sly, they get a bit more care taken with them, because Sly 4 was coming out near that time. But then why would they use the Sly 2 design? I'm not sure. Probably because it's the most popular in the franchise, but then you can barely tell because the art style again is Then we get with the story. My god. So the whole gist is that the characters get transported from their daily routine, get spawned in by these like two cringy alien warlord dudes, you know, like those parrot guys from Crash to Insanity, but they're not as funny or interesting. They're just very cringe. I mean, one of them was voiced by the guy who did Zim, who 100% is just phoning it in, because I can't blame him, like this game's dialogue leaves a lot to be inspired. So every cutscene revolves around these guys just being like, "Oh man, I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna leave you guys in the dust, yo. No, I'm gonna kick your ass. Nah, beat you to it. I'll see you guys in the finish line, dude." And the sidekicks, which is primarily just like Clank and Bentley figuring out, oh, you know, this whole thing might be a period scheme. It might not be a good. I think we might be gameplay guys. And Daxter's just out of place because the guy, no offense to him, but he's a complete idiot. So he just stands around saying these really unfunny quips. So, again, really weak, lazy writing. And then at the end, the alien warlords, they trap the heroes into like one big multiverse land, whatever, I don't care. And the heroes, they had to beat the baddies by just throwing a disc into a machine, and that's about it. The game's story is such wasted potential. Like, you can actually have a decent story of this, or have the same exact story play out, but have the interactions with the characters be so entertaining and thrilling to watch. Like, there are so many, not so many times, there are some times, like fleeting moments in this game's cutscenes where I'm just smiling like a little bitch, seeing Sly, Ratchet, and Jak interacting with each other, just having their charisma, eating the screen, made me go, oh my god, this is what the game could have been, but the game lacks any cutscenes at all, and the cutscenes that are there are so short, a few between, that it's like, come on. I want to see more of this shit, man. But then also the writing, for the most part, even though I do enjoy those fleeting moments, the writing is just really uninspired, generic nonsense. They don't really have a chance to really make these guys' personalities like jump and bounce off each other really well. Then again, Jak, he's literally just a complete asshole. Ratchet, he's just generic furball. Sly, he's just Sly. And their buddies, they're just there. God, this game. Everything about it just annoys me. But I haven't even talked about the gameplay yet, because I forgot this is a video about the PlayStation Move. Let me talk about the gameplay. The gameplay actually isn't really all that bad. I know, surprising. The only problem is how repetitive it is. Okay, let me explain. So there are like 4 or 5 mini games. You got the bowling, which is surprisingly really in depth. You have to use your move controller to like move the ball around, bounce it up and down, and press like the T button to make it explode at strategic parts of the area so you can get the most amount of damage. It gets really, really brain teasing near the end of the game. I kind of liked it a lot. It's a very laid back mini game. Then you got Frisbee, which honestly isn't that bad either. It's actually a lot better made than the Frisbee game from the PlayStation Sport Champions one, because you're able to like move around slowly. It doesn't like try to be all realistic. You can like navigate it carefully. You can make it explode so you can like find and pinpoint where exactly to get the most amount of points. It's fun. That's what I can say. It's pretty fun. I like it. And then the next one, you got the whole ramming thing where you literally just ram your stick, and that's about it. It's not fun. It's literally not fun because all I do is just wag my controller left and right, up, 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 down, just so I can like counter their directional paths so the enemies who are blocking can be hit on the side or on the top. And it's like most of the time they don't even do that. They literally just hold their sword upwards, so I just keep on ramming them on the side, and they barely switch it up, so it ends up feeling like, wow, this is so lazy. Speaking of lazy, you got the whole shooting game where you gotta use your navigational move controller to move about and then shoot, point at the screen. It's like a gun game, but it's not that interesting again, because the enemies, they're complete pushover, they're a joke. You're barely any risk of dying, so again, what is the point of this mini game? And the next one is the lava whip. This one's good because in the sense that you literally just like violently flick your controller as if you're literally whipping somebody in the asshole to whip your whip. And also you're able to like grab objects and like throw it at an enemy, or you literally just grab your whip and just fling an enemy to the side of the screen to let them yeet off the cliff or something. It's a very cathartic and fun minigame. It works a lot well when you walk around with like Ratchet, because he uses his lava whip from like Ratchet 3, which is a great callback. But for some reason I always use Jack because it looks funny as shit to see him whipping people in the ass with it. With all said and done, that's pretty much all you do in the whole game. You repeat these minigames over and over ad nauseum. Just that some of the objectives change near the end, I guess. Doesn't really matter because it amounts to the damn same variations of saving the critters or launching rockets or beating up some big dude. It gets quickly repetitive to the point I was just wishing that this damn game could just end. Just end as soon as I made it to the Paris level, but no, I had to go through like 4 stages so I can play through all these minigames with like all the 6 characters, whatever. Anyway, that's it. As a move game, is actually a pretty solid one if you played for like maybe an hour or so. But if you're a fan of any of these franchises, which I know most of you are, who are watching this video are, do not play this game. Don't even try it as a form of curiosity because it will bore you to tears. It's solid, but it's boring, and it's disrespectful to the IPs that are present in this stupid game. So, my overall thoughts of the PlayStation Move is that it's a solid Wii alternative, but it failed for a good reason. And that has to do with the fact that it launched way too late, during a period in which the whole motion control craze is dying down. People are getting a bit tired of it. It didn't help that the Kinects came out, which kind of like mostly soured the whole entire public notion with the whole motion control phase, you know? Because I was alive at that time to notice how the Kinects just absolutely devastated everybody's shit. Angry Joe reviews, everyone's just destroying it. Everybody was looking at the move as like, why do we need another motion control controller? Why are they just jumping into this bandwagon? Well, it's funny to see that because Sony, they're still doing that shit with the PlayStation VR, the whole VR craze. And now the VR craze is now died down to the degree that the PlayStation VR 2, by the way, is fairly affordable now. It used to be expensive, but now you can just buy it for a fairly affordable price. So I don't know what that says about Sony, but they just like chasing trends, and it doesn't pay off in the end. Like if they just stick to what they do best, which is making high quality in-house games, then none of this shit will be a waste. I mean, this is a bit sad considering a lot of people clearly put a lot of love and effort into these wand testicle, which they ended up becoming just a bunch of extension controllers for the PlayStation VR. And in a sense, they're pretty much like the prototypes for the PlayStation VR 2's hand controllers, which are just better than these move controllers can ever think of imagining it being. But these things are meant to be like a Wii alternative, like the HD version of the Wii before the Wii U even came to be. And that one was a complete flop, which I'm sad because the Wii U absolutely smacks ass. But yeah, that's the PlayStation Move. Do I regret having it? I mean, it's an interesting device, I guess. It's just that the games, they're not really all too enticing. Like with Nintendo Wii, you got insane library of insane games to accompany the Wii with Smash, Mario, Zelda, Kirby. While PlayStation, you got PlayStation fucking Move Heroes. That's all I can say. You got PlayStation Move Heroes on the damn PS Move. So yeah, that kind of says everything about the quality of this thing. So yeah guys, that's my video. I took a while for it, but yeah, I finally got it done. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, comment, sub. I'll really appreciate it because doing these videos on YouTube is a pain in the ass. I'm not getting promoted much anymore and that sucks, but yeah, that's the case of being a small YouTuber, I guess. Doesn't matter. Just like make these videos for fun. And yeah, that's all I can say, guys. I'll see you guys soon. And I wish you guys a blessed day. Bye bye.